Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome to Ronsplaining the Interwebs. I'm your host, Nick Rekieta of Rekieta Law, small law firm in central Minnesota. And today is a day in which we will be probably concluding the Ronversations, at least in the meanwhile. He has still today sending me messages. I don't know who did this to him. I don't know who told him that this was a good idea. I don't know any of that. Oh. It's, where are we? Oh my goodness. I gotta find the spot we were at. That's what I've got to do. Gotta find the spot. We've, oh boy. Okay, we were past that. I think? No, we're right around here. We're right around here. Just a second. My Twitter's being stupid. I'm just trying to load up the right spot in the conversation for you guys. Here I am. Rond again. Okay. Let's see. I think we'll find it here. Hey, guys, I want you to listen. I've gotten so much hell for this shirt, and I want the illusion of lewd. The illusion. I want that for you. That's my gift to you, is the illusion that this is something sexual, right? That's what we're going for here. Okay. We've got to be like here. Maybe I should pull up yesterday's stream just for a second and find it. I just want to make sure I get to the right spot. Just a second. We can solve these problems. Here we go. Let me mute this so it doesn't blow your ears out. Okay. All right. Just gonna zip my way along to the end here and find the exact spot in the conversation where we left off. Here we go. His Discord got leaked, and I believe that was the 16th or 19th of January. Okay. That's where we left off. Got it. All right. Now let me get zoomed in here. We'll get this thing ready to go. We're chambered up. We're ready to talk. Ready to suffer together. To suffer in unity. Unidos. Unlike the EU, none of you will Brexit from this. You will all suffer with me. We have a good chunk to go still. I don't know how to express it to you. You'll see. Oh, excuse me. When I switch over, you'll see how much is left. There's quite a bit. Ron is certifiably insane. I don't know how else to put it. It's a downward spiral from here, guys. I told you that yesterday, and it continues. It continues to decline and decrease in lucidity. I don't know if his meds are progressively wearing off by the day, but he gets more and more stupid as we go. These are still from Tuesday, and the man was messaging me today still. Flags are banned here. Yes, absolutely. No flags allowed. Actually, we come on, I can't even make that joke. It's a shame. We can't make jokes, right? Jokes are too dangerous and too scary because jokes might be a little bit too true for people. So I don't know. How do you guys have plans for this weekend? I have some plans for this weekend. In fact, I have a plan for tomorrow at 8 a.m. I realized this when Lady Rackets reminded me of it 30 minutes ago. And I went, oh my God, why am I doing a show tonight? I should actually just go to bed. That would be better. But I announced I'm doing a show, and here I am. Here I am with you. Because I love you. Oh, God. Oh. Never drink last night's whiskey. That's horrible. I promised Twitch as well. I did. I'm not sure how long of a Twitch session that's going to be. I don't know. It might be a little shorter than I expected. It might be a little shorter than expected. I'm not trying to escape Twitch again. I'm a man of my word. I said 100% doing Twitch. Listen, just because I made a bad decision yesterday doesn't mean I'm going to correct it today. Doesn't mean I'm going to correct it. I'm just going to cry. Just going to weep and suffer. Gonna die to the dragon for 3 hours again. Yes, I killed that dragon eventually. Oh. So we've got these DMs. Of course, there's other legal news going on. I did a video earlier, just a brief update in Tulsi Gabbard versus Hillary Clinton. Hillary is dodging service in a manner reminiscent but slightly more stylish than Jamie Markey. Just refusing to accept it. Her lawyers refusing to accept it. No service. So Tulsi has sued Hillary, sort of, but the lawsuit hasn't kicked off. And speaking of lawsuits that haven't kicked off for lack of service, let me mention another one. I don't know if you guys remember, but there's this weird scrotum-shaped attorney out of North Carolina who is fighting the racists. He is fighting the racists very hard. The hardest you could fight the racists. He's fighting the racists so hard that he has teamed up with racist fighting Jay Woolman to fight the racists. And they have together crowdfunded a racist fighting crowdfund on GoFundMe. And they're doing great. They're doing wonderful. I'm proud of them for their attempt. But the problem here is they have also yet to serve their parties. Now, I mean, I don't know why. Maybe they're dodging service. Don't know. But that's what was it called? Silent sham or whatever? Maybe sham is the operative word. I don't know. But they have not served the other parties so far. The summons were issued. December 16th of 2019. They're now 45 days out from having those summons issued. They're very serious about this very serious complaint going on. they really are going to take it and stick it to the racists. They're going to bend those racists over and stick it right where the racists don't want it. And I mean, once they serve them, of course. GoFundMe. Here it is. Silent Sham. Man, putting the sham in Silent Sham, aren't they? Just amazing. Just amazing. Yeah, that $8,350 from notorious non-follow-througher T. Gregory Doucette. Who knows? Who knows how many Disney vacations he's trying to fund with this? I don't know. I mean, he's not like a liar or anything. I mean, except for just a great history of lying straight to the public, misrepresenting himself. And he hasn't done it. He hasn't done it yet. So, I don't know what that means. I don't know why. All I know is that. I don't know why, but I know that. And I can show you. Just I don't want to be called a liar, but here we go. Here's the Pacer thing here. Now maybe let's see. Let me pull this up for you. Ha! So as you can see, this is Doucette et al. Versus Stone et al. Filed on 12/13. The last filing was on December 30th. We've got the summons issued here on December 16th. Copyright action, consent declination to proceed before a U.S. magistrate judge. That's the last thing on the docket, y'all. So they have not, they don't have a return of service, return of summons served or anything like that listed. I don't know. Oh, wait, I've still got this it's not very effective thing up. Let me get rid of that. Sorry. That's better. Well, it's not very effective here either. So I'm following the case. We're waiting to see the rock solid performance of renowned lawyers T. Greg Doucette and Jay the Whole Man fighting the good fight against the racists. I just want to see them do it. I want to see them win the racists, and they haven't done it yet. So, we'll see. We'll see. I wait with bated breath to see if they're actually trying to win a lawsuit or if they're just trying to raise some credibility and get in the news. I can't fucking decide which one it would be because that would be a strange mystery. Gavel. I can do a gavel. Let me get that gavel ready here. We have a little bit of gavel action today. Gavel for when I lose my temper. Which probably isn't going to take too long. I told you, Ron gets progressively more unhinged as we go. Other legal news, DSP's bankruptcy filings are now available. I've started going through them. I've got to figure out how to cover them. So far, I'm looking at the filings and I don't know if he's going to get Chapter 7 with his income he lists. His income is pretty significant that he lists on there. He has a high amount of business expenses and personal expenses that he lists. But that being said, taking as true his representations, it looks like the man should be filing bankruptcy. I mean, it doesn't look like a sham bankruptcy. Looks like someone who got way over his head on consumer debt. Maybe you should talk to T. Greg about it because I don't think he's going to get that Chapter 7. He'll probably get converted to a Chapter 13 and have to pay back the debt. He's got significant income coming in. and getting up. He's underwater on one of his properties. He owns 2. I assume he owns 2 because he's underwater on the one. So surrendering that property, converting that into personal debt, and then combining the personal debt into a Chapter 13 consolidation and having a payment for the rest of his life is probably what's going to happen to him. And if they do that, I mean, that's likely the right move. I don't buy for 1 second his representations of his... he owns no electronics. None, according to this thing. No TVs, no radios, no microwaves, nothing. Nothing at all. So I think there's some issues in the filings, but I haven't read through all of them yet. He only owns $500 worth of clothes, guys. Just the $500 worth of clothes, which for a normal adult, even who dresses as terrible as I do, that's seriously like 4 outfits and 2 pairs of shoes. I mean, when you really break it down, that's not even underwear. $500 worth of clothes is basically nothing. When you consider that, you know, a t-shirt is $20, a nice pair of jeans is at least $50. We're talking socks, you know, like a hat here and there. This is crazy. But yeah, his PC, to be fair, is probably owned by his business. I would suggest that that's the case. But I still don't buy it. But anyway, we'll see. I gotta finish going through the filings and figuring out how I'm gonna cover it. But it is there. They're out there. They're on the Kiwi farms if you want to look through them yourself. If I do cover them on stream, they'll have to be heavily redacted because they have lots of personal information that doesn't belong on there, even for a notorious dark side Phil. I'm drinking from me tonight, so this will be fun. The only man more pale than me is me in mug. All right. Should we get into this? Should we just jump right in? Should we, like a virgin, just jump right in? Oh my God. I got some chats to read, and then we'll hop into this and get it moving along. We might have a shorter stream tonight because I have to somehow get Twitch in and then not die tomorrow. So let's do it. Insert clever name here says, dude, you should totally rethink wearing a shirt that matches your pasty Minnesota complexion. It hurts. It hurts me here and here. Perception Check says, the video Ron shared as proof that Vic is a creep or whatever. The woman came forward against Ron's narrative. Check your Discord DMs for her statement. Oh, I know. Wait till you see the one he shares with me today. Wait till you see it. You're gonna lose your mind. You're gonna lose your mother farming mind. Mob Singh says, I took your recommendation and picked up an Oban 14. I will be enjoying a glass or two while attempting to wrap my head around today's episode of Ronversation. Zazadrov, translated from Russian to English to your health. Zazadrov. Zazadrov. I don't know how to pronounce that, but yours too. Yours too. I only look naked with this t-shirt. I wish I was naked with this t-shirt. Mithrin Emrys says, Ron seems to flip between wanting validation from you and trying to prove you wrong somehow. His messages reek of desperation. It is simultaneously sad and creepy. Oh yeah, man. The guy is legitimately insane. I do not believe I would be safe from violence in his presence. There's no way to believe that I would be safe from violence in the presence of this person. This guy has no chill. Has an admitted history of violence, and has an admitted history of demanding violence, if not stopped by his fiance. And she only stopped him for Vic. Even though it looks like, hey, Ron, if you're out there, if you're watching still, Ron, it kind of looks like that was a lie, that whole thing, because this is the internet. And people found out that Monica and Vic weren't at that convention that you mentioned together. They weren't there together. So it'd be really hard for Vic to insert himself between you and Monica at the convention where they weren't physically present together, which is just another one of your BS stories that you've run with from the beginning. They're all lies, Ron. This is your problem. Your problem is that you're a liar and you can't keep your story straight. Isn't it weird how my story on the GoFundMe, my story on the referral, my story on all of these things that you cannot figure out how I'm lying about them and why you can't prove it, my story on them has been consistent from the beginning. Every single time I tell them, it's the same story. Do you know why, Ron? Do you know why? It's just the truth. That's all. It's such a simple sort of thing. You just tell the truth, and then you don't have to keep the lie straight. But you have been, like just in this conversation, lie. I'm pointing out lies. People are DMing me lies. You just lie so much. It's great. You better hope you don't get past appeals. Because if this goes past appeals, Ron, I don't know if this conversation's going to go great for you. But we'll see. We'll see. Carl Maley 05 says, Nick, how much for some bathwater and or a sex tape with Lady Rackets? Just kidding. Keep up the streams. I watch every night and I'm a big fan. Well, let's talk about that bathwater thing. Actually, no. I mentioned last night that it would be great to have a programmable universal remote with some like phrases and sayings and stuff. Guess what? Somebody emailed me. They happen to program remotes for a profession and have offered to donate a custom remote with some sayings to be auctioned off. Now, I'm not saying I was excited, but I was very excited to hear about this. So what I need to do is source some clips, source some audio clips to put into the remote buttons. So, so we'll see if we can make that happen. We'll see if we can make that happen. My jaw dropped. I started laughing in the middle of my evening. Lady Raggins looked at me and was like, "What?" I'm like, "Don't. It doesn't matter, sweetie. Don't even worry about it. The guy's gonna make sounds with a remote. Oh, like catchphrases? Yep." Something like that. Something like that. There'll be like, I don't recall. There's got to be a daddy no, right? Daddy no! It's got to be on there somewhere. Oh my gosh. We'll have to figure this out. There's, stuff from the deposition. I am the sheepdog. I am the sheepdog. It's got to be on there. This is going to be great. So I'm gonna work out the details. I'll find out how many clips there are. We'll figure this out. We'll figure this out. Willful Ignorance says, hi, Nick. Why do you think Ron is doing this? What could he possibly hope to accomplish? I've got a couple theories. I think Ron legitimately thinks that I think Ron thinks that when I had my venting session the other day, that was a sign. There's a crack. That there is something that he could go after. And I think Ron thinks he can drive a wedge between me and Vic. He's right. Ron can definitely, if he just tries a little harder, he will have driven a wedge between me and Vic. I will accept that I have caused Vic all of the pain. I will immediately stop helping Vic out and turn my back on him. Ron has got me there. He knows that that's going to happen, and that's true. So I'm glad he's figured that out. That's one of the things that I think is going on. Another thing I think is going on is that Ron is trying to present a narrative. I think he's got to know I'm reading these, right? He can't be that stupid. He's trying to present a narrative for the audience, for you guys, for the other people who might see this. He wants people to see his side of the story in the way that's most sympathetic to him. I guess that's his plan. And he thinks that if you guys just see the truth, that he, in fact, gay loves Vic and wants to marry him. And since he won't ever marry Monica, he wants to marry Vic, and he wants to save his career, and he wants to save the industry that you all love, and he wants to heal the community or whatever, that you guys will convince me to stop being mean. That'll happen. And that you will all stop being mean, and everybody will go on, and Vic will go die in a gutter after Ron marries him. He thinks that's going to happen. I genuinely believe that's his plan. I don't know if it is, but I can't figure out what other plan he has. He sure gets mad when I don't answer his questions. So, I don't know. Why? Go away. But I don't know. I mean, I just have a couple theories on what it is. Diablo says, Nick, I think you need a danger warning because the levels of stupidity coming from Ron DMs is more contagious than the coronavirus. Coincidentally, both can be fixed with alcohol. Attaboy. Yes, they can. Dave Flannery says, you're the man, Nick. Here's $20. Hey, thanks, buddy. Stop spending it all on SPF suntan lotion. The sun still rises in Minnesota, I'm told. Actually, let me tell you, I heard this on the news the other day. This is like the longest gloomy period in Minnesota history. What is that? Is that longest gloomy period, Minnesota? So far, it's the gloomiest month in more than 50 years. It's been nearly 60 years since Minnesota had a January this gloomy. This is the cloudest January on record in the Twin Cities. It's the cloudest these are the headlines. It's the cloudest January stretch in decades in parts of the Midwest. So I'm just saying, the sun doesn't rise in Minnesota anymore, which I think, I honestly think that has played a part in how tired I've been lately. Bald Eagle 1787 says, well, Nick, Ron has given you 3 shows of content. It must be dry season for you. I mean, I don't know. I think it's good content, but also Dark Souls is a conspiracy for you to buy new controllers, keyboards due to the amount of shenanigans that happen in those games. I don't use controllers, only keyboards. Paul Godin says, feeling a bit grifted with a quick stream and a short Twitch on my Friday night. What kind of lawyer makes those kinds of promises with that kind of follow through? A good one. Nova Zero says, Daryl Davis on Joe Rogan talked about this a lot with the Klan. There's cognitive dissonance that plays back and forth when they smack into the truth. Don't know if he's Klan. Look, he needs a black friend is what I'm saying. Ron needs a black friend? I don't know if Ron should allow a black friend around his fiance. Chef Koji says, Nick, talking to Ron is equal to Sisyphus pushing that boulder, only the boulder is made of soy. Enjoying Dalwhinnie and wondering, what dish could I make to represent a grifting Minnesota lawyer? Thoughts? Ooh. Not lutefisk. What? It's gotta be, okay, I got it. It's gotta be somehow like a high-priced Swiss steak. Right? Like a Swiss steak is a cheap pile of garbage that is slow cooked in a gravy to try and get it to be tender. Now, if you just made a Swiss steak with like some tenderloin that cost a fortune and like a nice whatchamacallit, like a red wine reduction gravy on top of it, and you know, shave something expensive on it like truffle, that could be good. That'd be good, right? That's grifting and Minnesota all in one. Overpriced, basic Nordic food. Low Ghost says Ron furiously types away at his laptop. Goodbye Horses plays in the background. He sends his message and turns to face a mirror. Would you cuck me? He whispers as he applies the blackface. I'd cuck me. I'd cuck me hard. I like the Spike Man says, I can't believe Trump is going to get off scot-free. He broke almost every law, but they won't even allow witnesses. Mob thuggery at best. Don't ask about China lying about the outbreak. Orange man need arrest. And yes, good job to Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi, just absolutely masterful job by Nancy Pelosi. Praised by the media for her wisdom and foresight in handling this. Except she just didn't get John Bolton to testify in the House. That sucks. That sucks. Okay, guys, let's get into this. Here we go. Here's the GoFundMe, $274,280. Feel free to donate to it as you will today. Cole Ostendorf, thank you so much for the donation. Jarrell Navarro, John Phipps, Andreas Jensen, Brandon Wilson, Spank Daddy, Jose Gonzalez, Javier Baez. These are last two we read yesterday. So, oh my goodness. I'm talking too fast. I'm not breathing. Thank you guys for donating. Always appreciated. You really are fantastic. Really fantastic. So, all right. All right. So here we go. We left off with his Discord got leaked, and I believe that was the 16th or 19th of January. Interestingly enough, let's talk about that for just a second. Ron, his Discord didn't get leaked. It was a public live stream of the Discord. It wasn't a leak at all. It was a public Q&A session hosted on the Discord. Do you know how I know that, Ron? Because I listened to both sides. I actually just talked to the moderator of the actual chat from the Risen Bull Rangers. You know, the one who ran the Q&A session. It was not a leak at all. It was a public broadcast Q&A session. Why do you have to misrepresent things? Like, what's the goal here? What's your or maybe you just misremember things in a more nefarious way. That seems like your MO. What is the mic not picking me up? Is there a problem? Is there a problem? Hopefully not. The mic threshold shouldn't be messed up, but yeah, so there's that. So I respond, it's easy to influence someone to get fired, Ron. You call them a rapist and back it up with a fake story while participating in a brigade. It's hard to get people rehired, especially after that. Right? So this is, Ron was saying, well, you know, how could he do this? How could he have anybody? I'm just a mortgage guy. How would I be able to influence anyone to cancel Vic or hire Vic? That goes back to me saying, you know, you can't get him hired back. You and Monica have no power to do so. And he agrees. I couldn't get him canceled either. No. That's the easier part. Getting someone canceled, that's simple. Getting them hired is much, much harder. Much, much harder. I've never called him a rapist, and when I see anyone say that about him, I clear it up quick. Oh, you have called him a rapist. Neither is a single person who is named in this lawsuit. Ron, sexual assault is the criminal statute for rape in Texas. Jesus Christ. This guy thinks he can hide behind the words. Like you could just say sexual assault and it magically doesn't mean rape or sexual assault or anything like that. Right? It means a kiss on the forehead. By the way, watching Game of Thrones, Season 4, Episode 3, Sir Davos kisses Stannis Baratheon's daughter on the forehead. Did he rape her, Ron? Was that sexual assault? Is it ever appropriate for a 50-year-old man to kiss a 14-year-old girl? This girl's like 6. Kissed her on the forehead. Was that inappropriate, you weirdo? Good. The pie baker says, yo, McCuckold, I'm really happy for you, and I'm gonna let you finish, but between you and Vic, only one of you is a documented abuser. Go get pegged by Monica's unwashed horse strap-on. So, here we go. This one's meaty. Nick, come on, bro. Not your bro guy. Not your friend, pal. Not your pal, chum. You know there's a difference. No, Ron. That's the thing. In Texas, where you are, there isn't. Rape is sexual assault. Sexual assault is rape. That's the statutory definition. It's the label for rape. Now, you may quibble about whether it was an inappropriate touch of a sexual organ or whether it was penetration. I'm not the guy who said he did it. You are. Like 80 times, though. Just like 80 times. You know there's a difference, and if you really think that, I would encourage you to stop talking on legal matters and listen to the professionals who do this for a living. The ones who actually work on cases in courtrooms. Oh, here we go, right? Because Ron does. Ron works on cases in courtrooms, so he knows. We have said ad nauseum. It's ad nauseum. Check my takedown tweets that what he did to Monica and our friends was not to the level of criminal charges or rape, but assault. Criminal sexual assault is the rape statute, Ron. It's the rape statute in Texas is criminal sexual assault. It's assault. Pulling someone's hair is assault, but it isn't rape. Pulling someone's hair might be assault. Depends on the circumstances, the intent, all of that stuff. And assault is an intent crime. Depends on the level of want from the recipient. And that doesn't get to retroactively change, like 7 years later or whatever. But it isn't rape. No, it never is rape. You're correct. Force kissing someone is assault, but it isn't rape. Force kissing someone, like a Jedi? What are we talking about? What's a force kiss, Ron? Are you saying a forcible kiss? A forceful kiss? Which one? There are differences. Forceful kisses can be consensual. Forcible kisses, probably not consensual. But there's a big difference between those things. Kissing someone vigorously and forcefully could be, a very consensual act. Ron, you are talking to a lawyer, right? Like, the definitions of words matters quite a bit. But it isn't rape. Are you seriously this confused? You seem to be. The sexual assault statute, you're the one who said sexual assault, Ron. I mean this immediately. Stop reporting or weighing in on the law until you can process the most basic things. I don't think he gets it. I know he doesn't. You call others idiots and claim they don't know what they are doing, but you have been fantastically wrong about every aspect of this case. No, I actually haven't been wrong about aspects of this case. I was disappointed in the outcome of the hearing, but I didn't predict they would win the hearing. That's this weird mystery. I hoped they would win the hearing. I thought they should win the hearing, but I didn't make a prediction. I, in fact, hedged my predictions every single step of the way because there's a judge there, Ron. Because I do this for a living. I actually know how this stuff can work out. Let's see. Minus the blatantly obvious extensions. Well, and the fact that you weren't going to get all those fees and several other steps along the way, like you wouldn't be able to depose me. Let's see. What else was there? There's several things along the way that I've gotten right. But you know, I mean, I don't know. We don't have to fight over this. You can have your opinion. I don't care. You might be able to fool a kid in a basement, but you get dunked on by actual professionals. Oh, sure. Fooling all the kids in the basement. Show of hands. Who's a kid in a basement here? Like what kid in a basement? This is important. This is important. This is how Ron sees you. This is how Ron sees people on Twitter. This is how Ron sees anyone who disagrees with him and Monica. This is how Monica sees you too. This is how Sabat sees you. This is how Jamie Markey sees you. It's condescending. It's very condescending. And I have talked to friendly VAs as well, who have been tempted to say things like kid in a basement. And I immediately and forcefully and forcibly correct them. Because it's a habit. It's a habit of the internet. And to denigrate people who are on the opposition to you, well, they must be this. Must be some kid in a basement. No, stop it. Stop it. This is the internet. The kids in the basement are on Halo voice chat or whatever, right? Like they're not engaged in this in the same way. So of course there may be some kids in basements on here. There may be. But honestly, if you're a VA and you see this, if you're a convention runner, if you're a professional in this industry, you better check your dumb ass when you start referring to people who are putting up $270-something thousand as kids in basements. You better check it, because these are the people, the adults who come to your cons. These are the adults who buy your manga, your art, your anime, who buy tickets. These are the people who pay for your professions. They're not kids in basements. They're people with jobs and lives and families, and they're giving their hard-earned money to you. And if you keep this approach up, you deserve every single shred of work that you lose. All right. Dunked on by actual professionals. This guy, the actual professionals, what, like Mike Dunford? Mike Dunford, who doesn't practice? Who admittedly doesn't have the stomach for practice? But there's like, the student, Alan Rawls or whatever, the law student. This guy legitimately thinks that everybody on law Twitter is a practicing lawyer. No, Ron, they're not. They're not. Many of them are not. But this will come through in a little bit. I think Vic should look into the referral you gave him and then the process of Ty sending everything to you. If you think this way, you really, really screwed Vic over. What way? If I think this way, I really, really screwed Vic over. What is this way? Ron, when you allude to something from a separate statement with the word this, if you think this way, you have to make sure that you have laid out what this way is previous to that statement. I don't know what you're referring to. I have really, really screwed Vic over. I can't screw Vic over, Ron. I can't do it. I'm not him or his agent or his lawyer. And I didn't make him hire anyone. I can't. I'm just a guy. Ron, I work on cases in courtrooms, you moron. You're the one in this equation who doesn't. You're an idiot. At some point, you know, there's just not much to say. I was working on... I have a bunch of cases right now that I don't want to have. I've been trying to get rid of them for years. Years trying to get rid of cases, and I can't. You see, name calling is a sign of insecurity. Getting dunked on by actual professionals. Name calling is a sign of insecurity. Getting dunked on by actual professionals. Name calling is a sign of insecurity. What are you doing, Ron? I have been respectful to you, even though you have insulted me in most of your replies. You haven't been respectful, you weirdo. Little gremlin. I'm insulting you in, gosh, I hope all of my replies, not most of them. This guy has not been respectful to me at all. Do you believe you have as much experience with defamation than Jay, Sean, or any of the other 90 plus lawyers who have chimed in? Ron, I got bad news for you. Most of those are not lawyers. And most of them, some of the ones who are lawyers are no longer practicing or never did. Many of them are law students. Many of them are in different countries and would have no real experience at all in American defamation laws, which is, it's a little bit different than everywhere else specifically. But I also never claimed to have as much experience as any of them. Not at all. Just a guy who reads documents and explains what's going on in them. You still have avoided the question. What question? What question? This is the first time you've asked this question. So what question are you talking about? I have to remember that this person... I have to remember that this person is barely conscious. They mean Jay Woolman and Sean Lemoyne. That's the J. That's the J. He's given a little fellatio to Jay, which, in all honesty, I respect because Jay, probably needs that help. So, but yeah. Yeah. Insert clever name here says, he just broke my brain. Telling a criminal defense attorney to listen to the professionals who do this for a living. I may never recover. Dave Flannery says, this is a painful back and forth. He's the only person to deny I haven't even remotely assaulted my wife when he physically assaulted his wife with a remote. Back to it. How can Vic sue for defamation and claim our tweets that happened after his own public statements caused him damages? Simple. He's claiming that his own public statements didn't cause him damage, but your tweets did. That's how. I don't get how you don't understand this legal theory, Ron. It's how a lot of defamation cases work. Well, no, this thing didn't cause the damage. This thing did. And here's how we're going to prove it out. That's not uncommon at all. But okay. How do you overcome his long documented history at cons for being known as a creep? It's not a documented history at cons. Actually, oh my God, Ron just defamed him to me. Too bad there's no damage involved. But Ron, he doesn't have a documented history at cons. That's the problem. If he had a documented history at cons, we could pull it out. But every con that allegedly has a documented history, when you go to them, they say, we don't have any records of complaints against Vic. We have no records. Even when you're weird, gender confused little hitman assassin Manjaw with an Adam's apple the size of a bowling ball comes out and says that that Vic is banned from cons, the con says, no, we don't have any record of that. And he's, why are they inviting it back? She just doesn't know. Because she's a liar too, you weirdo. You're listening to liars, people who lie constantly. LJ Montello is not only a literal psychopath, but also a liar, a serial habitual liar, lying about everything. An unhinged lunatic, Ron, that you're lying with. And she got BTFO'd by the conventions that she claimed to work with. They're like, we don't have any records of this. Just none, though. Just none. To the point that there are videos of them saying, you're all going to call me creepy for doing this, but fans keep asking. Fans keep asking. Consent. 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 You're talking about how he's not getting consent, but you then say fans keep asking. That is consent. And then proceeds to whisper in a fan's ear and kiss them on the cheek. Oh! They asked him. They asked him. By your own admission, they asked him. What is wrong with you? Have you gone online and searched the videos? Besides the videos, let's focus on Vic's own admissions. He admits to almost everything that has been brought up, just denies how the other person felt during his interaction with them. Nope, 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 nope. That's not true. You're such a liar. We have the depositions. We have his categorical denials. Why are you so bad at this? Why do you keep lying? He doesn't deny doing the things, just how the other person felt. No, he denies doing the things. He denies whispering something sexual into Jamie Markey's ear. I think he denied whispering anything into her ear. He denied pulling her hair. He categorized it as playing with or touching. He denied pulling. He did all sorts of stuff, or denied all sorts of stuff that you claim he did. He categorically denied it in that initial apology tweet that you keep referring to. King Mog says, first ever super chat. Hey, thanks, buddy. Welcome. These streams are easily my favorite part of my workday. Thank you for all you do, and please keep law-splaining the interwebs. Oh, I have no plans on quitting. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. As a dad. Oh, here we go. Here we go. This absolutely dysfunctional trash can of a father is going to now appeal to me as a father. This will be great. This will be great. As a dad, not a fan of Vic. I'm not a fan of Vic, you weirdo. I'm not a fan of him. He doesn't get it. Ron, I barely watch any anime. And I stopped watching anime when Vic started acting in it. Like 20 years ago. I didn't know who Vic was at the start of this. Not a fan of Vic. I'm happy to call him friend. Now, not at the start of this. Never met him. Never knew him. Didn't know who he was. Found out he was the voice of Broly after I started talking about this. Not as a YouTube personality. Oh, okay. Search the records and ask yourself what you would do if your daughter showed up on YouTube and a 50-plus-year-old man was kissing on her or full body hugging her. Well, I don't know, Ron. What's the proper, well-adjusted adult response? Would it be to go beat the man to death with a remote? That's what you would do, right? Because you're a psychopath. You're a maladjusted weirdo who uses violence to solve issues. But me, if my teenage daughter went to a convention to see her idol or whatever, and then showed up on YouTube in a consensual scenario where he gave her a kiss on the forehead or cheek, I probably wouldn't have that much problem with it. You know, I'm going to do the presidential thing. You know, I met with one of those teenagers. Ron. I met with one of those teenagers that Vic hugged. after she went to meet him and tell her story and talk about how he changed her life, about how he kept her, kept her grounded through his work and through his public appearances and stuff like that, and how meeting him was this great thing in her life. I met with that teenager. You know who else I met with? Her parents, who were also there. They thanked me and asked me to thank Vic. You're a degenerate pile of shit who beats women, threatens to murder dogs and children. And you dare lecture anyone about appropriate interactions? Ron, you beat women and threaten to murder their children. You disgust me. You're lucky you didn't go to prison. Would have seen how big of a man you were there, right? Big man fighting everybody. Show up in prison, little manlet. Get tore up. Get tore up by some real men. I'm the sheepdog. You would be their bitch, that's for sure. That'd be the most true statement ever. Yeah, Ron, I'm not buying it. You can't sell me this. You're not a good salesman. For one. For two, I've actually talked to these women. I've actually talked to their parents. Have you? Have you? Tacos for hire, hire for tacos says Ron is trying to gaslight you poorly. Abuse 101. Oh yeah, he's an abusive pile of trash. I don't think he knows it. That's what makes it better. This is absolutely ass backwards and crazy. I can't tell you how many blue hairs I have in my feed that buy this pathetic BS. Yeah, well. Malik Foxen says, curious what the difference is between a full body hug or a regular hug. I don't really get it. Seems like some wordplay to make it sound like something worse than it is. It is. Of course it is. A full body hug. Well, that's where you wrap your legs around them and you also insert your penis into them. That's a full body hug, according to Ron Toye, right? Like, it's a rape hug. It's a struggle snuggle. In fairness, he's talking about the thing where you like are gonna hug someone and you like arch your body and you hug them like this and you're like, I don't want to touch you. I want to have as little contact as possible because my name's Monica Rial and I think fans are gross or whatever. Like that's what he's talking about. Here we go. What would you do if you found your teenage daughter in his hotel room? Well, here's the thing, Ron. My teenage daughter wouldn't be in any grown man's hotel room. That's just how that would go. But what would I do? I don't know. It would really depend on what was going on. And if my teenage daughter and Vic... by the way, this story isn't actually verified by anybody, and the people telling this story have massive conflicts between the two. Like 3 teenagers, 1 teenager, different years, different people involved on the walkie-talkies. Oh, and by the way, I talked to people at that con who were with Vic, and it didn't happen. It didn't happen because the people I talked to were with Vic the entire convention, and there wasn't time for Vic to just nonchalantly soiree off to his room with a bunch of teenagers. That didn't happen, Ron. They're lying to you. LJ Montello, Lynn Hunt is a liar and a lunatic. Ron, you should disassociate with that dumpster before it Me Too's you. Because just wait, Just wait. Ron, you've got a history of beating women. Do you think that mannish lady wants to actually likes you or respects you? Nuh-uh. Just wait, Ron. That thing's coming for you. That thing's coming for you. Just wait. You are fodder to that. Let's see. These are things that are part of the record, so I'm not throwing out new information. They're not actually part of the record. They're a disputed part of the record. And they're vehemently denied by Vic and other people who were actually there. Oh, remember that thing where LJ Montello, part of her affidavit, a significant part of her affidavit was actually just reconstructed notes because she wasn't fucking there? Remember that, Ron? How your lawyers had her lie in her statements and reconstruct something she claims to have personal knowledge of from the notes of other people, but she wasn't there. She was in a different country because that cunt is a liar, Ron, and your lawyers suborned that perjury from her. Do you remember that? You remember that, Ron? We remember that. We remember that. LJ Montello was, I think, in Japan during the convention that she claims to have personal knowledge of all of this from. That's a problem. And guess what? If you get past appeals, that bitch is going to get torn up on cross-exam. As a dad, what would you think? Well, I don't know, Ron. It's not a true story. So why do I have to worry about it? Now put your lawyer hat back on and tell me you still think it was wise for him to sue with that history isn't true, versus PR campaign I detailed in previous DMs. Remember, the PR campaign Ron suggested was one where he goes on a rape apology tour eventually. Not right away, because he's got to cancel all of his conventions. Then he has to go work on himself, prostrate himself before Monica and Ron before they allow him back into the industry, and then he must go on a rape apology tour to every convention. That's right. That's a good PR plan. You're right, Ron. I concede. Ron wins. His PR plan is much better than anything anyone's ever thought up. Oh my God, he should start his own PR firm. He can call it, "You'll get to admit to rape, and I'll get you back into your industry as long as you apologize for raping for the rest of your fucking life." That's a great PR firm name, Ron. You can call it Rape and Rape PLLC. It'll be perfect. Dear Lord. What option would have better results long term? Suing. Suing you. Suing you because you're a disgusting liar who tried to ruin someone's career. Suing you because the man was disinvited from every convention except one until he stood up and said, "Hey, I didn't do this. I so didn't do this that I'm willing to go to a lawsuit for it." That was a better plan. Period. Your plan would involve him admitting to rape and actually just being thrown out of the industry and never coming back. Ever. Never going to another con. That's what your plan would result in. Only in your deranged fantasy does Vic get to come back on his rape apology tour, which that's, again, look, cons are, we're bringing a horrific sexual assaulter. We're going to bring him to every con so he can tell you about sexual assault and how he's better now. Yep, that's what they want. Notice all of the people doing that currently. Notice all of those people doing that currently. Me either. Ron, you're embarrassing yourself here. You're also vastly overestimating the 90-plus lawyers' experience and knowledge because they favor your side. By the way, me calling you an idiot isn't an insult. It's a compliment compared to what I really think about you. This is true. These are true facts. These are true facts. Liana Hansen says, first super chat. I first saw you on Anthony Fantano's YouTube channel about the Mars, Argo, Titanic, Sinclair, and Poppy lawsuit. Then started watching you cover the Maddox versus Masterson lawsuit. Keep up the amazing work. Hey, thank you. That's a big throwback. I hope Fantano's doing well. I haven't talked to him since my Twitter was yeeted and I lost contact. But he seems like a nice enough guy. I was really, really happy he had me on the show. Yeah, that lawsuit was great. Titanic, Sinclair, Mars, Argo, and Poppy. I wasn't wrong about that one. That was a good. Oh my gosh, I'm getting sorry, guys. Getting itchy, getting a little pissed off. Carrie Steers says, you killed my wife with Struggle Snuggle. Here's $20. Can we get some Struggle Snuggle merch? I don't know. I think that might actually violate the terms of service of Teespring. I'll have to see what I can do. All right, here we go. Lol, it's documented, Nick, and they have been right this entire time. They actually haven't been right this entire time. They were right pretty much only on the dismissal, but they weren't even right in how the dismissal would take place, Ron. That was a surprise to everybody, including your lawyers, you liar. Including your lawyers. They're all surprised you got off on that TCPA, weren't they? Not on the, not TCPA, on the tortious interference. They were very surprised you skirted out of that tortious interference. You caught Chup on the right day. Good job. We'll see if the appeals court upholds it. Maybe they will. Maybe they will. The only lawyer getting it wrong has been you and your buddy. Okay. We'll see how that works out. I see that you are avoiding answer because you realize you are in checkmate. Oh, he got me. He called checkmate first. Why didn't I think of this? Oh, I had the chance. I could have called checkmate. I could have called checkmate earlier, and I didn't. Ah, dang it. I have tried to have a logical discussion with you, but you are, as it seems, incapable of it. Then my response is less than courteous. Ron, you wouldn't know logic if it consensually hugged you. Sorry. Would you mind sharing what has made you believe that? Oh, I don't know. Just days of illogical blabber coming at me. Again, how do you explain someone who doesn't understand logic? How do you explain logic to them? It's impossible. It's impossible. With details. During this conversation, I have asked a few questions, and you couldn't muster anything more than insults and condescension. Couldn't or wouldn't, Ron? If you can't provide answers to the basic questions I asked, what made you think this lawsuit was a good idea? Seems like you really want me to answer that. We'll just keep it how it is. It really calls to questions the integrity of the referral to your friend. Oh, does it? Is that your logical leap? Why on earth would I refer? Why would I refer someone to a law firm with all sorts of resources, licensed in the state, that has done good work for me and people I know? I don't know. Why would I do that? Why? Oh, God. There's a real logical quandary here. Did you have to convince both or just the person who is panicking to pursue the lawsuit? No, Ron, not only did I convince Vic to pursue the lawsuit, I convinced Ty to represent him. Ty didn't want to represent him at all. I called him. I said, you listen here, you son of a bitch. You're going to represent him because I have a YouTube channel to run. What are you? You think you have a law firm? You think you have a law firm? You think you've been in business for 22 years? You think you can deny me? You think you can deny me? You're going to represent him, you piece of shit. Come on, Ty. Get on board. Get on board, you pussy. That's what I did, Ron. That's what I did. I pulled out the biggest goddamn remote you've ever seen. I flew down to Texas. I'm like, you motherfucker, you better represent, Vic. You better represent. You don't represent him. I'm going to shove this remote right down your throat. I'm going to pull it out your ass, and I'm going to shove it back up your ass and pull it out your throat. And then you're going to tell me which one you like better. That's what happened. That's what happened, Ron. That's what happened. What do you think this is, you weirdo? I'm going to convince a guy who's been working for 20 years in the anime industry, has 100,000 followers on Twitter, has a huge fan base. Someone he's never met, am going to convince him to sue the people he's been friends with for 20 years. That's what's going to happen. That's the likely outcome of this scenario. It's me doing it. And not only that, I'm then going to facilitate him hiring a lawyer, something that I logically have no control over. And I, as a measly, detached, we'll take your word for it. I'm his client 1,000 miles away, even though I'm not his client, just someone I'm related to is his client, and I'm 1,000 miles away. And he's going to listen to me and be forced into representing someone in a lawsuit that neither of them want? That's your theory, you moron, you abject idiot. You're preaching about logic, and listen to your scenario. What would it take to make that happen? What power would I have over these people? And remember, part of your stupid theory is that I'm doing this to try to gain leverage over someone who controls a trust fund in my name. That's your theory. So not only am I doing this, like, I have to manipulate someone into giving me more money, but I somehow have power over the person who has power over me to force them to put their 22 years of law firm ownership on the line to represent someone that they've never met. That's definitely the case. You nailed it. You're the logic master. You're the logic master, Ron. You're a brilliant man. How'd you figure it out? Bring me the handcuffs. I'm giving you the keys to the GoFundMe. Holy shit. You are the smartest person on the planet. Somebody give me some whiskey. This is the stupidest man I've ever met. By far. By far, the stupidest man I've ever met. Between you and your friend, who do you believe did the most damage to Vic? Oh, the checkmate questions keep coming. Keep coming. All right. Oh, look at me. I'm spoiling myself here. I'm indulging. I'm sorry. We got a couple responses in a row. Ron, your questions are absurd. They're based on fundamental misunderstanding and delusions about what happened. The funny part is that you can't even decide if I convinced Vic to do this out of my Machiavellian schemes or if Vic hired me to run a GoFundMe and bullying campaign. Sort of how you guys can't decide if I'm a trust fund baby, a poor incel, or if I grifted my way into Ferraris and yachts. Quote, lol, you can't answer, so you don't know. Ron, I don't have to give you any answers because you can't even figure out a decent question. Make sure you pay Lemons up front for his negligent referral scheme. I'm sure that will work out well for you. Oh my God. Let's see. Ryan Mercado says, a wife beater lecturing you about appropriate interactions. Jesus Christ, I think it's safe to say Ron gone crazy and delusional. Also, Ron, let's see how much of a man you are when you drop the soap in prison. Sprite Cola says, super chat to match your shirt. Hope this helps you retain your sanity. Keep up the good fight. Well, my sanity is well in check. The blood vessels in my eyeballs might not be. Cabria Cousins with a big donation. Whoa, thank you. Says, wow. Soy Boy wouldn't know logic if it struggle snuggled him. His genius gives me a damn headache. Hashtag super soy. Hashtag friggin' moron. Hashtag moronica. Whew. Whew. Wow. What happened with the text break? I hit send on accident while I was trying to hit the apostrophe, right? The apostrophe is near the send key or whatever. I'm so itchy. I'm so itchy. Why can't you be a little bit of all that? Oh, guys, just so you guys know, after I get off the show, I'm going to go drive my yacht around the deck, or drive my Ferrari around the deck of my yacht, or maybe I'm going to drive my yacht on the deck of my Ferrari. I haven't decided yet. One of the two. Oh, here we go. Nick, are you triggered? You seem upset. Oh, look at this. He's got the gotchas now. Checkmate. Now I'm triggered. Lol, you mad? You mad? You mad? You seem upset. The funny part is you poke fun at my inability to ask a decent question, but you do not have the mental fortitude to handle one of my questions that you consider dumb. Oh, Ron. Oh, Ron, it's not the mental fortitude I lack. This is the funnier way. Oh, look, there it is. The smiley emoji. You can always tell. You can always tell. I am still waiting. Yeah. Is that what you say to Monica when you bring up marriage? I'm still waiting. I'm still waiting. You know those prolonged engagements always benefit the women, right? Commitment from you. You sure you got commitment from her? Ron, you're my one true love. I know. I know I am. It's great. Will you marry me? Eventually. I am still waiting, but bravo on taking a few hours to think of a somewhat clever response. Oh, he's got all of the Twitter trappings here. You're right. I didn't answer him straight away. He sent me something at 4:54 p.m. and I responded at 8:34 p.m. That's right. I was, in fact, spending 3.5 hours only thinking about what to reply to Ron. I wasn't making food for my family. I wasn't running errands for my kids. I didn't, take a nap that day. None of that happened. I was only thinking about this response for 3.5 hours. That's what I was doing. Dear Christ. I suggest reading Green Eggs and Ham. I apologize for suggesting books above your level of understanding. Smiley face. Lol, you mad. Jesus, Ron, come up with better memes. I think I'm older than you, but you're making me feel like a teenager here. Oh, man. Oh, my goodness. I am older than Ron, by the way. I'm older than him, which is great. It's fantastic. It ruined my day. A winky face this time. Remember, Ron has admitted that smiley faces and winky faces are how he processes and copes with anger in online interactions. He broadcasts to you what he's going through. It's so funny. Still waiting. Just one simple answer. You owe it to your fans. Try at least. Yep, I owe it to you guys. Has anybody figured out the question? Like, which question? I don't know what the question even is. Don't know. But if you guys can figure out the question, you go ahead and send it to me, and I'll answer it to you. I won't answer it to Ron. It's funnier this way to me. Ron, that's the amazing things. My fans have all the answers to your questions already. You're the one in the remedial room. I would like for them to have correct answers. Oh, okay. So I'm just not giving the correct answers. That's right. What books do you really want sent to you? Only Warhammer Special Edition books. Literally, that's it. That's it. It was, can you fill in for Tyrone this Monday night? No, that's disgusting. No, I would never do that. I would like for them to have the correct answers. I would like to see you try to answer one of my questions. I've been answering these questions for 11 months. Sorry, sometimes students do and should get left behind. Aw. Poor Ron. But you got them wrong, Nick, while lawyers online have been explaining things and getting it correct. So why not try again after the constant schooling you have been getting? Oh, Ron, it's so cute when you talk about law and what's happening as if you had any clue. All I know is that we won. Oh, he got me. He got me. They won. They won. I haven't acknowledged it yet, guys. I have not acknowledged yet. Vic lost at in court. Vic lost in court. Ron has finally drawn it out of me. Ron has finally drawn it out of me. I'm sorry for obscuring it for so long. I didn't mean to. But I just couldn't bring it to you. I've kept you in the dark. It's my fault. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I've represented that he won this whole time. And it wouldn't have come to this if you didn't talk Vig into filing the lawsuit using your friend. This is his theory, guys. He legit believes that this is what happened. He 100% believes that I convinced Vic to sue. That me, someone Vic has never met, someone who is 1,000 miles away from Vic, who talked to him on the phone like twice, somehow I convinced Vic to sue. I did it. I admit everything. I am that good of a lawyer and salesman. Despite everything I've ever said, it was all a calculated grift. I am such a good lawyer salesman that I convinced Vic to sue. And not only, I'm so good that I convinced him to hire someone else to do it rather than me. Right? Now let's calculate this out. I could represent Vic pro hoc vice in Texas. I could do that. I could have done that. Think about this. If I were the mastermind, right? If I were the actual mastermind, what I could have done is represented Vic. I could have convinced him to hire me instead of hiring Ty. I could have convinced him to sue. I could have set up the GoFundMe. Then with my master manipulation tactics, I could have had Vic on my show all the time. We could have come out in full force against this lawsuit. I would have been the one taking the case. And guess who would have been taking that sweet, sweet GoFundMe money? I would have grifted myself $250,000 in legal fees, plus everything I would have earned having Vic on the show. But instead, I'm such a Machiavellian mastermind that I forced him to hire Ty Beard. I forced him to hire someone else so I could give them the money. That was, there you go. Good plan, Ron. Good plan. Ron, if I were fleecing Vic, I would have just taken the case myself. I would have waved in pro hoc vice. I would have hired Ty in an advisory council to make sure I followed the rules, and I would have done the case, and I would have taken all of the money. That would be the master grift. That would have been the dishonest way to do things. I would have had full control over the case. Would have been cool. Would have been cool. But it wouldn't have been ethical. Oh, there's that problem again. Well, ethics problem. Okay. Okay. So instead, I just referred him to a lawyer in Texas with a law firm that specializes in all sorts of different things. You know, Jonathan A says, didn't Dr. Seuss cheat on his wife while she had cancer? Wow. Go for Ron to have proper role models to strive towards. I don't know if he did, but if he did, that's hilariously awful. I love Adblock, disavow, says, I think he means the JQ, if you know what I mean. I'm starting to think Ron hates Israel. Oh, I know Ron hates Israel. I know. And Mystic says, hi, Nick. Thanks for the entertainment and keeping us informed on the different cases. Love your show. Keep up the good work. Hey, thanks, buddy. I appreciate that. I really do. Oh, my gosh. I wish I didn't itch so much today. I think I'm overdue for my allergy shots. Smiley face. Smiley face. I forgot the smiley face. Yes, that's what happened. Here we go. I admit it. The full admission comes out. I actually paid Vic to file a lawsuit against you, and then I took all the GoFundMe money for myself. I sure hope your win outlasts appeals. Would be a real shame for you to eat even more legal fees. Oh, well, I bathe in GoFundMe dollars. Or are the dollars still at GoFundMe? It's a mystery. Lol, 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 lol. Speaking of which, let's bring up the GoFundMe here. Here we go. We have $274,300. Thank you to Jackie Updike, Cole Ostendorf, and Jarrell Navarro and John Phipps for their recent donations. I appreciate you. I appreciate everything you're doing for Vic. Thank you so much. Also for my bathtub full of dollar bills, y'all. Dollar bills, y'all. Or whatever. Oh, yes, he gives me the Leo clap. Leo clap. This is the boomerest younger than me person I've ever met. That was a great attempt at wit. I now understand why they came up with the idea of participation awards. Oh my gosh. That retort was a rapier to my heart. He just ruined me. He ruined me with that severe criticism of my wit, followed up by a massive display of actual wit. Oh. How am I going to recover from this? Here's your gold star for the day. If you get brave, I would still like to see you answer my questions. Are you noticing a theme here, guys? The funny thing is, Ron is thinking that he's got some grasp on this conversation. And he can't figure out that he is... Why won't he answer my questions? Why won't he answer my questions? He's got to answer my questions. Why he's just not answering my question? Please answer my questions. Please answer my questions. Just answer my question. Just one question. I just want you to answer one. Just please just answer one. If anybody can figure this out, you win a prize. I'm pretty sure by the end of this, I'll be getting smiley emojis as Morse code. And then I included a Morse code smiley emoji. Because I'm a dick. Sorry. Oh, sorry. I can't help it. What are you supposed to do? What are you supposed to do other than toy with these people? And then he sent me a smiley. So then I sent him this tweet from How Embarrassing. Good job, How Embarrassing. Monica doesn't fully hug and kiss fans. Lol. Sure, Ron. I have so many pics of her doing so many of the same things Vic has done that it's ridiculous. Like, literally, I have a ton for all of them. The hypocrisy of these people is crazy to me. So I sent him this, and I called him a dumb liar. Because he is a dumb liar, right? Like, there's nothing else to say. He's a dumb liar. Yeah, that was an SOS in the Morse code. Thank you. the big 32K7. You decoded my sweet Morse code emojis. You got it, buddy. You win all of the prizes. $1 million GoFundMe dollars to you, sir. Okay, so I point this out, you dumb like look, here's Monica assaulting people, and we know that she is actually assaulting people because no one would want a hug from that. No one would want a hug from that. Oh God, look at this. Ugh. So here's what Ron sends back. Ron is the smartest guy in the room. He sends this. We're gonna watch this video in just a second. We'll watch it. Well, let's watch it now. All right. Eric Bieberbach? I'm gonna have $1 million GoFundMe dollars. How dare you? How dare you? How you doing, man? How you doing? It's been a while. Okay, let's see. Let me get this pulled up. This is more evidence, okay? I want you guys to pay careful attention. This is more evidence of Vic being inappropriate, right? Like, let's look at this. It's totally the same, lol. The fact that you can look at that and not see the glaringly obvious is proof that you have the mental capacity of a pencil sharpener. Remember, so this is Ron. Ron is saying that this video is a sign of inappropriate this is rape, right? Are you ready? Are you guys ready? I've got it. I've got the audio playing. Everything's turned up. Here we go. Oh, wait. Almost. We got to get to what is it? This one. Sorry for the Windows sounds. Here we go.
Oh, I'm scared to drink this. I'm scared my father might be angry with me.
What if I let you drink it?
Oh, can I drink it?
Did you see? Did you see the rape? Oh no.
Oh, I'm scared to drink this. I'm scared my father might be angry with me.
What if I let you drink it?
Oh, can I drink it?
Did you see? Ron actually thinks that that was a non-consensual, inappropriate interaction. It was literally the recreation of a scene from Oren High School Host Club. She read the line, he read the line, she read the line, they giggled. It was this sweet interaction with a fan who is very, very happy for it. This is the delusion. This is the delusion of Ron Toye. I don't know what to say. Anyway, you and your pals plan to help your idol's career. There's an apostrophe in idols, and he's not my idol in any way. I think voice actors are... I don't have a ton of respect for voice actors. I would never want to be... I mean, I think it would be fun to do voice acting, don't get me wrong, but I don't idolize them in any way. Actually, meeting many of them, they're the farthest thing from my idols that I could find. Sorry. I like some of them. They're nice people, but... oh, dear God. Your idol's career is the exact thing keeping him in strip malls and alleyways. The toxic harassment campaign you all have been on has made him a liability. Congrats on being the biggest culprit on kicking him out of everything. It's me. It's my fault. I've done it. I've done this. Felipe Mube says, Ron got you, Nick. He outwitted you bad. You are the mastermind of everything, but at the same time, you are so dumb to understand the law basics. Yep. Yep. All right, here we go. Do you have a conceptual problem with reality? The things keeping him away are people like you and your associates threatening every convention and calling him a predator. Threatening to go to newspapers and outright lie about him based on your lies and your fiance's lies. Thanks for showing that video. It shows just how unreasonably stupid you are. That was a clearly consensual interaction in which a fan was participating in a read of a popular line from a character he voiced. You know this, and that's what makes you such a scumbag. At the end of this video, they are laughing and smiling. To frame this as anything other than a positive fan interaction is to be either clinically stupid or an outright liar. Pick one. Pick one, right? Which one is he? Clinically stupid or an outright liar? Look at this. Nick, you are entitled to your opinion. Oh, that's not an opinion, Ron. That's not an opinion. But if you are honest with yourself, and if you are honest with him, how do you justify filing a lawsuit for defamation, centering around his behavior that he apologized for? That's not what he filed the lawsuit for defamation for, you dumbass. He filed it because you called him a sexual predator and sexual assaulter. There's no assault on record anywhere. There's not even a complaint at a convention. You can't find one. If you could, you would have said something. Wouldn't you? When there are tons and tons of videos like this, oh no, not videos of consensual fun interactions with fans that loved it, that are positive about it, that would do it again. Oh my God, that must be devastating to someone's career. His history of having to dispel rumors, they're lies. He's always denied them. His public statements in which he denied what you're accusing him of and what was sure to come out through the process of the lawsuit. Ron, what's come out? You said you had mountains of evidence. What has come out? Have you taken stock of that, Ron? What's come out? I'm waiting. Oh, he cheated on his fiance? They weren't married. He didn't beat her, Ron. He didn't beat her or threaten to murder her kids. Cheated on her? Sure. Okay. What's the other side of that story, Ron? Do you know it? Your fiance does. Your fiance knows the other side of that story. Doesn't she? You might too now. I can't speak to what anyone else is doing, or if anyone is contacting conventions. Oh, of course you can't. Of course you can't. I do not encourage that behavior, especially knowing he owes us a large sum of money and will owe us more because of the appeal. Oh, I mean, only if he wins and the appeals court upholds that. Only if you don't get an adjustment on your appellate award either, up or down. If you do that, according to that, you lose the contingency fees. Remember when Jay-Sean begged Chup to undo that? Ugh, it's a mess. It's a mess that Chup gave you a shit order there, isn't it? I believe Vic was being genuine, like I have said in tweets that are included in the record, when he said he was getting help and reconnecting with God. Yet he was doing that for something else, though. That's the problem. It's my opinion that you have influenced him to simultaneously file a lawsuit that would ensure you could weaponize your channel by providing content funneled to you through your doltish family estate lawyer. Okay, let me explain this. Because he put weaponize in quotes, right? This idiot is listening to John Michael Kelly. John Michael Kelly is one of the dumbest people on the planet. So he fits right in with Ron and Shane. The comment about weaponizing my channel had nothing to do with Vic. It was actually a different lawsuit that entirely fell through. It was a completely different thing. It had nothing to do with anime. It had nothing to do with anyone Ron knows or interacts with. And it had nothing to do with funneling content to my channel at all, actually. It was about using my channel to be a force for good against something that is bad, that had nothing to do with anime at all. At all. But you used an illiterate moron and his interpretation of what was said in a channel that was vague and that had nothing to do with Vic. Good job. Good job, Ron. You can keep it up all you want. His behavior and calling to the farms to make people's lives miserable escalated this situation to levels it never needed to reach. Oh, Ron. Ty asking the farms to be his personal army was the most boomer mistake on the planet. Only because the farms doesn't take orders from people. And Ty just didn't understand that. If you think the farms was waiting for permission from some Texas estate lawyer, as you would maybe call him, to do what they do, you're the biggest idiot ever. That's it, guys. That's it, farms. Ron honestly believes that you needed Ty to give you marching orders. That's where it went. Oh my God. Guy has no clue. He has no clue what he's talking about. I had to tell Ty, I had to inform him, I'm like, Ty, what the hell were you doing? You don't ask the farms to do stuff. The farms isn't your army. It's like, what do you mean? I'm like, that's not your army. Like they don't respond well to that. Don't do that. He apologized the next time he was on. Didn't understand. He didn't know. Ty didn't know anything about the internet. Dear God. In the end, he would have lost, but he would have been better represented by the new team, and they wouldn't have set fire to the industry or the online community. Ty didn't set fire to the industry or the online community. And how do you know, by the way? I don't think he knows anything about Martinez Sue. Because I'm not so sure Martinez Sue would take setting fire to the industry or online community off the table. Because any good lawyer wouldn't take that option off the table in the representation of their client. If it means their client wins, then that's what they're going to do. Because that's their job. You did not have his best interest in mind. No way. Look at that. That's the self-affirming denial. You couldn't have. No way. No way did you have his best interest in mind. Oh, I do. I do, Ron. I have his best interest in mind. Always have. You can disagree with how I've done things. You can disagree with the results. You can disagree with all sorts of stuff. You can't disagree with my intentions. I have his best interest in mind. Absolutely. He's a guy who's treated unjustly, and I believe in justice. We may have different ideas about how justice comes about, too. What if I think your fat fiance never getting another convention appearance is justice? Now, you're lucky I don't believe that. You're lucky I don't believe that, because, God, oh, man. If I was spending a year making a concerted effort to just keep Monica Rial away from conventions, maybe could have had a good time doing that. But I didn't do that. Ever. By the way. Ever. People pay attention online. Oh, do they? Do they? I thought they were just kids in their mom's basement or whatever. Most of the tweets they claim were defamatory were replies to people attacking us. Why do you think they attacked you? They just attacked you out of the blue? Or was it because you made defamatory statements about someone they respect? The plan to force shut everyone's mouth by using intimidation tactics was a blunder, no doubt directed by the person who would benefit the most. You and Big Brain. Wait, I am the Big Brain. Who the hell are you talking about? Ron, most of those tweets were before I ever commented on the case. There's a hole in your theory, Ron. It wasn't my plan. I can't direct the internet. If I could direct the internet to do something, they would have left you alone. Because I've said dozens of times in dozens of videos, please don't even interact with them. Don't talk to them. Don't bother them. Don't criticize them. Don't do anything. Like I will on my channel ridicule you because I think you're an idiot. I think your wife is ugly. I think all of these things. I want to see you guys screwed over. I want to see you suffer for what you did. But I have never, ever asked the community to do anything. In fact, I've asked them the opposite. I want God to punish you. I want nature to punish you. That's what I want. I want natural courses to take their place. And for all of the bad things that are going to naturally happen to you, I want those to happen to you. And nothing else. I don't want anybody to harm you. I don't want anybody to talk to you. I don't want anybody to interfere with Monica's contracts. I don't want anybody to contact your work. I don't want anybody to contact conventions. I don't want anybody to do any of that. And I've said it over and over again. If you think the internet listens, you're the stupidest person on earth. The internet can't be told what to do. They just can't. If they could, you would have been left alone for a year. Because that's what I asked. People don't listen. Get over it. Directed by... Who benefits the most from that, by the way? How would how would everybody's mouth being shut benefit anybody? How would that benefit me or Vic or anybody else? Ty? If shutting your mouths benefited them, they would have filed for a gag order on this stuff. They would have requested a restraining order on you talking about Vic or talking about anything else. Did they ever do that? Oh, they didn't, did they? They had the opportunity to legally shut your mouths. Or at least ask the court to do so. They didn't. Why? No one was ever trying to shut you up. Did we leak the deposition videos? No. Ty did that to his client. Yeah, I think that was a good move, by the way. Training Marco, I would never, ever want to be the boss of you. I don't want to be the boss of anybody except me. I'm enough of a dick to deal with. I don't want to deal with anybody else. Perception Check says, so what Nick wants is for Ron Toye et al. To contract the coronavirus. New coronavirus. I think Ty leaking those videos was probably one of the biggest boons to Vic. Did you notice something? There seemed to be an almost concerted effort amongst law Twitter to use the transcripts to talk about the depositions, right? To use the transcripts to do it. But then there was those videos, those deposition videos. Those were there. And those sure as hell messed with law Twitter, didn't they? Because all of those things are in context in the transcripts. Or in the videos themselves. They're in context. You get to actually hear the people say them. You get to weigh out whether you think they're telling the truth. It's not just text on a page. Why do they hate those videos so much? We did fight for transparency, but not to destroy anyone, but to show the fact there are two sides to every story and not allow the narrative to be that we lied. Not allow the narrative to be that we lied. But you did lie. You did lie. You didn't want the narrative to be that you lied because obviously that's disfavorable to you. It's the most self-serving little statement I've ever seen, right? We wouldn't want the narrative to be that we lied. Oh, well, that's too fucking bad, isn't it, you liar? You're a liar, Ron. You lied. You still lied. There's nothing you can do about the fact that you lied. Your fiance lied too. You guys are liars. You lied. You know you lied. Because you're liars. Who lied? You covered those videos. Had your friends push the links. I did no such thing, Ron. I asked no people to push the links. People shared them on their own. They were interested in the case. Had your friends push the links. Push the links? What are you talking about? They have hundreds of thousands of views, and that attention would have never been brought down on him if it wasn't for you and your friends. I want people to see these videos. When they watch Vic talk and then you and Monica talk, they get to make up their own mind. I absolutely want people to watch those videos. I don't know of anybody who watched those videos and said, you know what, I'm on the side of Ron and Monica. Maybe they're out there. Logically, there has to be at least somebody. I think the overwhelming majority of those videos went in Vic's favor. I want people to see them. Don't you? Don't you want people to see them? Don't you want people to know and get to make up their own mind? Why don't you? You, your buddies, and your weaponization plan are what was the biggest factor in him being kicked. He was literally kicked from everything before I even knew it happened. And continued to be kicked. The more they attack, the harder it gets for him to recover. I mean, I somewhat agree with this. Like, I don't think, as stated, I don't think people should be attacking anybody. I don't know why anybody's attacking anybody. Oh, maybe they aren't. Maybe it's your side, Ron, that's actually attacking. You have dedicated pieces of shit out there trying to ruin Vic's career. Maybe you should assess what side you're on. People on Vic's side aren't attacking anybody. They're not attacking conventions. Your people are. The way you have pushed the narrative that no one can change, I am a wife beater. Everyone is bad. Damaged his redemption path. You are a wife beater. Not everyone is bad. You're bad. Your fiance's bad. Jamie Markey is bad. Funimation is bad. Those people are bad. Objectively bad. Chris Sabat is bad. He's a bad person, Ron. Sean Schemmel is bad. He openly admits to religious discrimination. He's bad. He's a bad person. He's a scumbag. These people are terrible. You're terrible. Absolutely awful. Awful people. No one can change it, right? You are a wife beater, Ron. It's in public documents. You're a wife beater. The court found you to be a wife beater. You admitted to being a wife beater. You accepted it. Why? Because you're a wife beater. Jesus. Listen to this guy. Everybody else is the cause of his problems, right? This is a man who preaches self-ownership. Ownership of one's actions. You, in your videos, when the word assault or hurt came up, squealed, "He raped me!" while knowing we never accused him of that and regularly called people out if they tried to say that. You didn't regularly call people out, for one thing. For two, sexual assault is rape under Texas law. That's the statute. That's the rape statute. You're calling him a sexual assaulter. I was telling you, Ron. You're calling him a rapist. No, we're not. Yes, you are. You are. By legal definition, you are. Nick, the fans will remember you as the biggest reason for his downfall. Okay, good. Lucky you that that'll fall on my shoulders. I will bear that burden with pride if it meant I stood up for someone who was driven to kill himself by you fucking monster. If the sacrifice is me and the fans blaming me, but the result is that a man didn't Minecraft himself based on your abuse, I'll take it 10 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10. The fact that you wouldn't is embarrassing. You're a scumbag of a human. The fact that you would put your reputation over the life of someone else wrongfully accused is pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. I also think you're wrong. The person who tried to tear down the community. Oh, yeah. Yep. I do. I want to tear down the community. I want it ruined. Ruined. Ruined harder than Monica after Tyrone shows up or whatever. Whatever analogy you want there. I want it ruined. Ruined. The community is turning into a toxic pile of trash. It used to be good. Ask the community. It used to be affirming. Used to be encouraging. It used to be welcoming. And then people like you came along and your fat, disgusting fiance, and you took away the positivity of the community. You took away the acceptance. You started calling them racists, sexists, incels. You started accusing them of living in their mom's basement, of hating women, of hating minorities. Remember that? Why would you want this community to stand? You hate it. You and your fiance hate this community. I remember the anime community. I used to make fun of them because I was a dick when I was in high school. I used to make fun of the anime community because they were such an affirming place, because they were welcoming of people who were otherwise socially ostracized by people like me, by assholes like me. I used to mock it. I mean, I'm old now. I look back on it and I realize what a good place it's been for so many people. And I realize that people like you, your fat, ugly fiance, and her disgusting lesbo buddy, Jamie Markey, are trying to ruin it. You're trying to ruin people and throw them out of the community. You're trying to ostracize them on the same stuff that my asshole self in high school would have ostracized them for, on the things that drove them to the anime community. You're the assholes from high school. You guys are the cool kid squad making fun of the geeks and the nerds and all of that stuff. That's you guys. You're trying to ruin the community. So if that's the community you're trying to build, I absolutely want to tear it down. And I want to bring it back to the community it was. when I was the bad one, when I was the jerk. I want to bring it back to the community that gave place for people who felt awkward in social situations, that it gave them a common bond, it gave them a place to start and jump off, and it gave them a community of people who would accept them despite their differences that caused them to be thrown out of groups in their high school and friend groups. You suck. You people are terrible. Terrible. You're me when I was 16. And 16-year-olds are awful people universally. I hate them. Hate teenagers. Sorry if you're out there that you're a teenager. I don't like you. You'll get better. You will. Imagine being these people. Oh my God. Tear down other actors. Other actors? No, just the nasty ones. Intimidate victims into silence. I don't want the victims to be silent. I want them to talk. I'm looking for an actual victim somewhere. I'm looking for an actual victim anywhere. And you will have to live with the fact that I have tried on many occasions to give you the advice to stop being angry, change your ways, and be a better person. Oh, yeah. I will have to live with the fact that someone who literally beat his wife and literally threatened to murder his ex-wife's children and a judge's children tried to lecture me on being a better person. Oh, my God. How will I possibly recover? What am I going to do? How will I live with that burden on my shoulder? You still can change your own narrative. Own up to being a little confused on the case. Not confused on this case at all, you weirdo. Too emotionally invested. Oh, you wish. You wish I was too emotionally invested. And make efforts to be a better person. Nah, I'm good with who I am. He still has time to fix this too, but it will take something that is very scary. Ownership and overcoming ego. The lack of fucking awareness in this moron. Overcoming ego. Ron, check your ego. You are embarrassing. I sent a long response here. I apologize. I'm not supposed to do this, but I was indulging myself. We're almost to the end. We're almost to the end here. Ron, it's not an opinion. It's plain as day on the face of the videos you provided. These were positive and consensual interactions. I know since no one was beating a woman or threatening to murder someone's child, they look abnormal to you, but trust me, they're just fine. You're a trash tier emotional manipulator trying to rewrite history and justify your garbage actions. You're trying to blame me for what you did. You're trying to put words in Vic's mouth that he didn't say. You're talking about how you wanted him to get help. And at the time you were saying you would literally fight him because you solve your problems with violence. You're a monster and a danger to everyone in the vicinity. You think you went through therapy and are cured? Oh my God, man, your actions in this are some of the most unhinged nonsense of anyone. You don't even see it. That's because you're still an abusive pile of trash. You replied earlier that you didn't think you were that horrific. Denial in the face of facts while preaching self-awareness and contrition. You're in no place to counsel anyone, and it's stunning to think that you can peddle books about manipulating people into shallow relationships as advice on how to be a genuinely good and well-adjusted person. The revisionist view of what you did is an absolute dearth of acceptance of your own actions. Trying to misdirect and deflect blame onto me for a year for your actions is doubly pathetic. I hope Wick Phillips bills you into prostitution. They're fleecing you so hard you'll have to remove dog from your title and just remain a hairless sheep. Have fun convincing Vic to assign that negligent referral claim to you so Lemoyne can masturbate to the thought of suing me on Vic's behalf. Maybe you should call and talk to him more so you can rack up more bills that, quote, the GoFundMe will be awarded to you to pay for. You're a joke, you're getting played, and it's embarrassing. He responded with an emoji. Crying face. Crying joy face or whatever. Nick, you seem triggered. Are you okay? Again with it. You seem triggered. You're triggered. Lol, you mad? You mad? You triggered? You mad? I know the truth scares you, but that is the reality you brought down on yourself. The response is another example of someone who is outmatched, I think he means, and relies on insults as a defense mechanism. No, it's an offense mechanism, Ron. You got it wrong. You got it wrong again. It shows that you are insecure. Ooh, as you should be. And now you want to come across tough. What's tough? What's tough about making fun of a spurg online, Ron? There's nothing tough about that. I'm ridiculing you. I'm mocking you. You're a disgrace. You're an embarrassment. Tough? I didn't threaten to fight you. I didn't say, lol, I'll kick your ass. No, Ron, you're the guy who does that, remember? I'm just making fun of you because you merit ridicule. That's all. That's it. Project, project, project. Cognitive dissonance is a topic you should look up. Oh, I'm definitely going to take that advice from you. In addition, I would suggest projecting too. I know you would suggest projecting, Ron. You've been doing it for a year. Thank you for reminding me about your P.O. box. I will send over those books. Oh, that'll be great. That'll be perfect. Thank you. They'll go right on the shelf. They'll get read in all proper course. I will send over those books. If you chose to read them, if you in the past tense read them, that's on you. But I want to do my part in planting the seeds of hope that you can be a better man, I guess he means, than what you are now. Your wife deserves it, and so do your kids. Oh, always with the wife and kids. You know nothing, Jon Snow. Not a damn thing about me, my wife, or my kids. And it's the funniest thing in the world to me. It's great. Again, a literal abuser with two failed marriages who threatens to murder children and dogs is going to lecture me on what my wife and kids deserve. Hey, Ron, let's do a tally here. Who's on their first marriage? Me. Who's been married for over 15 years? Me. Who has 5 children? Who he loves and doesn't beat? Me. Who doesn't threaten to murder other people's dogs? Me. Who's never threatened to murder a child? Me. Who's never threatened to murder a judge's child? Me. Who doesn't solve their problems with violence? Me. Who doesn't threaten to murder anybody? Me. Who doesn't freak out when his wife won't pick up the phone and threaten to kill her dog? Me. You're going to lecture me on being a better person? Ron. Who doesn't go on a tirade tweeting hundreds of times that someone's a sexual predator with no evidence to back it up? Me. I'm okay with this. I'm okay with this tally. I wanted to add, the Rangers were doing something awesome. They were sharing positive. Why is this in past tense? They still are. They were sharing positive stories of him. Remember, though, when Vic asked them to share positive stories, you, piece of shit Ron Toye, and your shit fiance, Monica Rial, said that was him calling for harassment. Because Vic did that in January of 2019. Share positive stories. It was in that leaked Discord when he said, please counter the negative with positive stories. You fucking liar called that a call for harassment, and so did your garbage tier fiance. Called that a call for harassment against you, when all Vic asked people to do was share positive stories to counter the negativity. You're a liar. You're a liar. You don't understand how bad you're a liar because, like you said, in a moment of clarity, cognitive dissonance and projection are things. The real problem, though, is that you suffer from these things, Ron. They've been trying to share positive stories for a year and you made them negative. And so did your fiance, because you people are trash and you wanted to ruin a man. And now you're trying to retcon that because you are a dumpster of a human. An absolute dumpster. They were sharing positive stories of him, showing emails of positive interaction, literally what he asked for, that you categorized as harassment. Fuck you. That, sir, is exceptionally better for his public image than the approach you have taken. Weird. It's almost like on Friday, that fateful Friday, the one that prompted this conversation. And I said, Vic needs to come out and engage his fans and talk positively. I want him to be negative and vengeful and vindictive. I think it would be funny. But pay attention to what I said, Ron. Pay attention to what I said he should do. Maybe you're putting more import on my input. Maybe you've got my input wrong this entire time. If it were up to me, Vic would have vehemently denied everything from day one. He would have called you the dumpster liar that you are. And he would have positively engaged everybody as often and loudly as possible. But shitbags like you and your shitty friends and your shitty associates all convinced him that he had to shut his mouth. The only person who has been forced into silence in all of this is Vic because of fucking dumpsters like you, and you know it. That's the worst part. You know it, and you're a liar. You have your nasty little clique sending him emails, going after him, telling him he's got to be quiet. He can't come out and talk to people. It's people like you doing this, and you know it. And now you're trying to rewrite history again. But it's a lie, Ron. On the face of it, it's a lie, because this is exactly what he asked for a year ago, and you and Monica categorized it as harassment. Shut up. They care about him as a person. Oh, so do I. And for his future, while you have been blinded by your personal agenda. Oh, God, if I had only been blinded by my personal agenda, you would have... The shitstorm that would have come down on you would have been hilarious. Because my personal agenda is maximum funny. You haven't quite gotten to maximum funny. We could have. We could have. It would have been a nightmare for you. But I didn't do that. I would encourage you, for his benefit, to follow their lead in his personal request to stop harassing or spreading hate. No, Ron, if you haven't figured it out, I'm not Vic's agent. So his personal request to stop harassing or spreading hate. First of all, I'm not harassing anybody or spreading hate. Second of all, I will not stop ridiculing you just because someone asked me to, even if it's Vic. Unfortunately, I have problems with authority. So Vic Mignogna predicted the witch hunt against him back in 2016. Oh, man. That's his video. Back in 2016. Vic telling people the rumors are coming. Reminder, you encouraged him that a lawsuit was a smart call. Based on what, Ron? What evidence do you have to support this assertion? I mean, you've said it a lot. You may think it. But you can't show a scintilla of evidence of me convincing Vic of anything. Did you do any research? Oh, more than you. Way more than you. It's a shame a person trusted a professional and that professional only saw dollar signs and content. Again, this is the weirdest projection I've ever seen. Like, what is he going off of? I have no idea. I legit don't know. He's made up a fantasy in his mind about what happened, and he's sticking to it. I am not judging the content of the video or the previous videos I shared. Why would you share them? I am just pointing to the fact that there was a history of people talking about this. That doesn't make it... Ron, defamation manifests upon damage. Sure, there were people talking about this. He wasn't suffering damage from it. Not until you and Monica and Jamie and Funimation. For years, and suing didn't make sense because of that fact. That fact has nothing to do with what your statements did. Your statements caused damage that didn't exist before. In fact, again, bringing up the idea that people have been talking about it for years, but he wasn't suffering damages until you talked is an argument against you. That's an argument against you and Monica and Jamie. At what point did you discover this information and chose to ignore it? It's irrelevant. You don't understand. Was it prior to sending the referral to your buddy, after, or a bit of both? All of it. Whatever you say, Ron. Whatever you say is correct. There you go. Some kind of taco says, who dispersed the salt? Me. Who did the pepper? Me. Who told a guy to go fuck himself? Me. I love you, Rackets. Love you back, buddy. Thank you. So, lol, you're triggered. Come on, Ron, you can do better. Because again, it's lol, you're triggered, right? And then here is the final message so far. So far here. I'm going to have to bring this up and then scroll down. Here we go. Here we go. Last message, and then we're going to do super chats, and we're going to wrap up the show. Winkface, still not a single answer or coherent explanation for the position you have held now for almost a year. Again, why does he think I'm going to answer these questions for him? Like, why does he think that that's a thing? Come on, Nick. You can do better. Oh, thank you. You can do better. It is 2020. We live in a society. You can do better. The thin ice you and your goons have been playing on is cracking, and the fans are seeing you for what you really are and how much you hurt him. Oh, I hope so. I hope the fans see me for what I really am. That has always been my top priority. Legitimately. See me for what I really am. Absolutely. Never asked anybody to do anything different. You can try to hide behind your YouTube friends and your comic buddies. What? What is he talking about? Oh my God. I legitimately don't even know anymore what he's talking about. But in the end, you won't be able to outrun the inevitable. I really do hope you invest into yourself and identify your shortcomings and begin to transform into a valuable member of society. Oh, Ron, I can only aspire to be a wife-beating, child-threatening piece of shit that you are. Oh, God. If only. Someday, maybe I'll make it all the way up to you, you disgusting little human. All right. We're at $274,485. We've got Paul Godin, Meg W., Anonymous, Jackie Updike, and Cole Ostendorf. I think I read those already. Thank you guys for your donations. You are fantastic. As always, every single dollar is a nope to a Ron Toye, and it is appreciated to me. And guys, I need you to see me for who I really am. That's what I need. I need you to do that. And that's it's a harsh reality to face, but I need you to do it. I need you to take that on. Oh my God. Oh boy. I don't know what to do. That's the end of my Ronversations for now. I mean, I don't know if he'll send me more or not. It's up to him, you know? It's up to Ron. We'll see. Oh my gosh. Ooh, that fatigue is catching up quick. I got to get done with this, and then I got to go play some Dark Souls for like 5 minutes. And then I got to go to bed. Jonathan Wen says, can we cover Feebleman filed case against Columbia University? Maybe. Can you email me that? Because I'm not going to remember this super chat later, but I'll take a look at it. If you could please email me that, I would appreciate it. Oh my goodness, excuse me. Oh gosh, I should have blanked out and put up technical difficulties or something. SG Sammy is in the chat. Hey, what's up, SG Sammy? Yeah, I made contact with SG Sammy on Twitter. We're gonna maybe figure something out. I don't know. Got to figure out what to talk about. For now, we're gonna go ahead and finish up this show. Super chats, justice chats, and then we'll do justice chats first, and then super chats, and then we'll go back to Twitch for a little bit. I can't promise a long Twitch session because I really do need to get some sleep. But yeah, we'll do this. I hope you guys have enjoyed these Ronversations. This guy, this is a consummate weirdo. But you know, that's what it is. I don't know how to do anything else. I don't know how to do anything else. All right, here we go. Here are the justice chats. If you do leave during the chats, thank you so much for hanging out. I don't know if there's going to be a stream over the weekend. I'll probably be using it to get some rest and try and normalize my sleep schedule back to my stream schedule, because now it's normalized to almost a real person, which is bad for me. I'll be working on that over this weekend. Plus, I've got some stuff going on. But we'll see. I will try and do some Twitch, if not YouTube. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, and let's hit these chats. Nobody ever says, Nick, do you think people super chat to make you say words which can be spliced together later out of context? Me, neither. Flippant toaster plan tomato. Oh man, that's gonna be bad. Metaphorically gay says, Ron doesn't care if it hurts. He wants to have control. Ron wants Drexel's body. He wants a perfect soul. Ron wants you to notice when he's not around. Nick, you're so fucking special. Ron wishes he was special. Ron's a creep. Ron's a weirdo. Oh, okay. I didn't catch it. Ron's a creep. Ron's a weirdo. What the hell's he doing here? TLJ Screwjob says, a show and Twitch, Nikki, when you have stuff to do early the next morning? How embarrassing for you. Oh yeah, it's not a good thing. Not a good thing. The Pie Baker says, Nick, please tell me some of the DMs from the past 2 days are hate mail for the super chat roasts. It counts. The worthless pile of surplus chromosomes is present. The Pie Baker says, Mr. Cuckold, what you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I've ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response did you say anything close to what could be considered a rational response. I award you no points and get fucked. So there you go. There you go. Tess not on holiday says, does Drex have any plans on participating in this year's running of the bulls? I hear Ron and Maddox will be watching this year's festivities very closely. Oh, you did him wrong. You did him wrong. Let's see. The Pie Baker. Pie Baker says, I've watched more than my fair share of war documentaries. I've seen more recordings of speeches by an AH than I care to recall. Ron, do us all a favor. Go back to art school. Sent a bunch of emojis. Go Epstein yourself, Ron. Bunch of emojis. And Epstein didn't kill himself, so that's not a call for suicide. Jay says, it's clear when the he leaned in and whispered something in my ear came from. Cough, Marky, cough, Rial. Also, Ron shouldn't have messaged you. It clearly shows his thought process and Führer's and legal strategy. Showing those videos. Oh, look, he did it. I hope that's their legal strategy. That is the dumbest thing they could do. The dumbest thing they could do. Spitfire says, DM mean I give happy ending. My husband won't care. DM me and I give happy ending. My husband won't care. Okay, sounds good. Mario Carter 13 says, is there enough sacred ointment for 3 remotes? Oof. Jorel Navarro, welcome. Welcome to joining the channel. Thank you so much. Otaku Sage says, hashtag Vic for Momocon. Vic for Momocon. Nix Hex says, homophobic and time invariant. Ooh. Ooh, latent gay as can be. Smiles Decat says, thread not voice line. Even in debt, I still serve. OM3 Omega Hybrid says, month of overtime just finished. I'm tired. Oh, man. I bet you are. Changus Khan says, every time Ron tries anything, it will always fail. Especially marriage. Stars Girl Forever says, apparently kids in basements have tons of disposable income to super chat you and donate to the GoFundMe. Love you, Nick. Hey, love you back. Thank you. Nick's Gay Short says, don't diss my basement, Ron. It's cool, okay, bro? Michael Derrick says, back Grayscale. Welcome to Glitter City on Indiegogo, an action-packed superhero comic that will take your breath away and more than Jay Sean Lemoyne's ravaged lungs. So that's Grayscale with a K. That's K. Welcome to Glitter City. So go check that out on Indiegogo. Sounds like a comic. Ghetto TV says, Ron is the reason we all say, how embarrassing. Yes. DCV Titan says, an Islamic cuddle. Is that a struggle snuggle? I don't know. Jaku says, they haven't provided any facts and evidence to convince me on anything they say. First super chat. Hey, thank you for your first super chat. That's great. Travis Whalen says, these people saying hugs and kisses are creepy are just projecting their own hypersexualization of everything. Fathers can't even send their daughters to school without being labeled as creeps. Well, why would you? Why would you send your daughters to a school where men will ogle them? Well, boys will ogle them and stuff. What if they wore a sweater that was like close fitting? They should be in burqas. Juro says, how many consults did you struggle snuggle? You mean con sluts, I think. Did you struggle snuggle, Nick? Zero. Howling Warwolf says, everyone needs to remind Monica that back in 2004, she didn't think Chris Chan was too gross to get close to. Nick's Gay Short says, one more super chat tonight. You are on fire, my man. Ass remote. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Tacos for hire for tacos. Says the chat has a fever and the only cure is more. Gavel. That's for you. Say Brav says, Ron, don't let up. You've got Nick on the ropes. True. The Coke Master says, who's more stupid, Ron or Shane? God, I don't know. I legit don't know. I don't know what to say on that. I can't figure it out. Jen GM says, I wonder how much time and crayons it takes Ron to explain things on a normal basis. Andrew War Snowboard says, Mo Ron is an upgrade at this point. He's Ron tarded. DCV Titan says, who's the bigger idiot? Nancy Pelosi, Adam Schiff, Joe Biden, Ron Cuck Trey Toye, Shane Devourer of Shoes Holmberger, Russell Greer. Shane would have had my vote before this past week. Now I don't know. I just don't know. TLJ Screwjob says, remember Nick, she's his personal fiance. Andrew War Snowboard says the Cleveland Cavaliers have players named Colin Young Bull Sexton and Darius Garland. Together they are known as Sexland. Thoughts on this? I don't care. I don't have any thoughts on that. Bad Dragonite says you're older than Ron, but he has more KOs on record. Oh, only wives and kids. RW Bimby says probably just baiting you for a Twitter ban. I mean, maybe it's going to be hard because if he were to report my DMs, they would have to look and see that he had been DMing me and he initiated it. It's not going to stop him. Trouble Lord, welcome to the show. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining as a member. Intimidator 0108 says, Jesus Christ, Nick, I just turned 38 this past January. And this dipshit is younger than me. Ron, do us a favor and get your head out of your ass. Angel of Death DXD says, Nick, please check the email I sent you at some point over the weekend. Not now. Yeah, I will. I've actually seen and skimmed the email, but I will give it a better read over the weekend. Fizz Meister says, last stream you called Ron a weasel? That's unfair. Weasels are adorable murder slinkies. Ron is no murder slinky, not even with a remote. Well, I don't mean the legit animal weasel. I mean like the human kind. Rural says, in Ron voice, but Monica, it's my turn to be on top. Hyrule 47 says, going to have to go through the day thinking what book Ron would recommend to me to get over problem having at the moment. Also, the violence yesterday was just kidding. Was JK. Okay. Some nobody says, is this psychopathic horse effer still DMing you? Yep. As recently as, Friday at 5:16 p.m. John West says, even in Sri Pool malls and allies, he has more fans than Monica. Oh, strip malls and alleys. He has more fans than Monica and Jamie Lal. That is embarrassing. That is embarrassing. Kolfi's 2A wannabe Hunan Muhammad. I no longer idolize anything except the Balmore 12-year. Ooh, Balmore. Good stuff. Sprite Cola says, this message is giving you $1 for every IQ point Ron has. That was 5. Finn Frog says, you have the metal capacity of a pencil sharpener. Ron Toyade 2020. Did he say metal capacity? Metal capacity. It's right here. I auto-corrected it in my brain to mental, but it's metal capacity of a pencil sharpener. Oh no! It's a lot of metal by volume, Ron. You should watch out. Good Lord. Andrew War Snowboard says, you don't want to boss me around? Some leader you are. No, I don't. Mario Carter 13 says there are two sides, remote, smacker, and smack E. DCV Titan says, I think I figured it out. He's so stupid that he thinks Kick Vic is stand with Vic. Oh, excuse me. X the Eliminator says, his name is on the box and mine is not, even though I'm the lead character. The look on her face was priceless. That's from the deposition when we got a glimpse into Monica's actual motivation for all this. Zero Absolute Zero says, which would you rather do, Bob Drexel's apples or chew on Monica's jelly bean? Suck start a shotgun. Hot Fuzz, Shaggy Scooby-Doo, like wow, what a soy boy. Skeet Neat says, stop giving Minecraft a bad name, Nick. I can't help it. Timothy Reaper says, it seems he thinks the anime community can't think for themselves. They're just stupid pay pigs looking for their dom. What an arrogant little turd. He is an arrogant little turd. Duden2217 says, it's said you can judge a man by his enemies. If there's any truth to that at all, Ron has done nothing but affirm that we're right to support Vic. Kyle Robertson says, I nominate that we use Drexel instead of Tyrone henceforth. I'm with it. Bald Eagle 1787 says, I can speak for how inclusive the community used to be. When I was younger, I nearly Minecrafted myself because of how isolated I was. Anime saved me and showed just how strong I could be. Some nobody says, this effeminate Greek pleasure boy says triggered. Anime AK116 Jesus Freak for Life says, if this man was on trial in the military, he would have been shot for being a public menace and for being a wife beater. Skaki Onsai says, Ron triggers my desires to drop a nuke on Dallas. Renegade Shuriken says, you can't spell wrong without Ron. Very true. Very true. Mario Carter 13 says, Ron, Nikki wanted my seed, Soye. No, that's disgusting. Juro says, the more Ron talks, the more money I want to put in the GFM. Rhinosaurus Rex says, Ron Soye, a midget in both stature and mentality. DCV Titan says, wait, so now you are a professional? Weird. I mean, I guess. Gen GM. Where'd that go? Gen GM is somewhere. Here we go. Gen GM says, Ron reminds me of that one guy in high school who talks shit behind his friends and thinks he's tough, but when alone will run like a coward. Sheepdog, more like mongrel. M in the chat for mongrel. No one important says, to be honest, I am someone who needs to live with parents to make ends meet. By the way, here's $5, Nick. F you, Ron, and your dinosaur soy brain. Hey, there's literally nothing wrong with going back to your parents' house for a temporary time to make ends meet. Like, it's a tough economy. If you can't find employment in your field, or if something goes wrong, or if you get an illness, there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that at all. But that's not how they see it, right? They see it as inexperienced, young, stupid people who are in their parents' basement, not because of some like economic misfortune, but because they're just a dumb kid. Because they also see children as stupid. This is who they are. Name says, Ron, remote reckoning Soye, divorce enthusiast. Timothy Reaper says, Nick's Goon Squad, press G to sound off. Uh-oh. CC Ria says, I think the most insulting thing I can say to him is this. Ron, you will never be Vic. Sincerely, an anime fangirl who did not become a fan of Vic until last year. Good job. John Russell, question, have you already set a date on that live stream with SG Sammy? No. I'm asking because I think he's in the chat and I'm curious about this. No. Some nobody says, this Sammy Dyke needs conversion. Smarmy Dyke needs conversion therapy. Yuck. Duskstorm says, I feel my IQ dropping the more Ron talks. It's me too, fam. Sage Emerald says, Ember, Mark Kern's Kaiju game for $1 starting subscription. Get cool mounts and skins. Just need 55 subs to unlock the heavy frame. That is true. And I think you've got like one more day to join at the $1 level on that. So you should check it out. Check out Grums on Twitter if you're interested. I think over the weekend, I'm going to show the latest Ember download demo. I'm going to play it on Twitch, not on Twitter, on Twitch over the weekend. I asked Mark if that was okay, if we were allowed to show it, making sure there was no NDA, and he said absolutely that I should do that. So we'll be doing that sometime this weekend. Nick Sex says, no problem. Radiohead, don't talk to the karma police. Some kind of taco says, you have the touch, you have the problem. Yeah, I'm not doing Stan Bush tonight, man. Freighter J says, Sears, pancakes, semen, arson, toolbox, Tulsa. I don't trust this at all. Some nobody says, thought bulls won't F horses, but I could be wrong. Oh, he's not a bull. Oh, wait, Drexel, you're saying, I'm guessing. Bradley Mitchell says, funny license to hentai and then dropped it after realizing it, lol. Dynamic Network says, shout out to the chat. You guys are amazing. You guys are amazing. Romeo Garbo. Aha, I caught it. Says, hello, Nikki. Hello, Romeo. Skaki Onsai says, Ron needs a Truck-kun visit. It's isekai time. I ate the juice Says a child of Vietnamese mom plus black father equals vinegar. Vinegar. No. Goru says, nice to see's a virtuous wife beater. Sapient Underground. So religious discrimination is bad. Up next, why you should join Doug T's Army Against the Gays. Earthworm Jim hates gays and clean hands by the book. Name. Says Ron Roughhouse Spouse Soye, failure specialist. Bradley Mitchell says it's called interspecies reviewers. Okay. Hugo and his VW bug sent a popcorn sticker. Thank you. Bart Silverstein says, too bad Ron isn't buying that soy farm anytime soon. Romeo Garbo says, Nick, I cannot allow you to get away with what you've done. I find you guilty of one account of first-degree homosexuality. For proof, I offer your January 20th tweet. Do you have any defense? What was my January 20th tweet? Oh my God, I don't even know what it was. Let's see, January 20th tweet. The one about I've made hoes so mad that they are now pro-police shooting black men? That one? So in order, let's take a peek. We've got that one. That was on January 20th. Going live on Twitch TV, Rekieta Law. Earthworm Jim launched the cow on Kickstarter. I retweeted. I don't know if that's a tweet or not. And then the show link. And then that's it. Or were you talking about, this was January 21st. I don't know. I don't know what it is. I see you, Mythos. I'm getting there. Austin Heartless says, I had a sick burn for Ron, but my coworker distracted me. Oh, man, that sucks. Mythos Irving says, I live with my parents who are 60. My mom is in the hospital. She has dementia. I look after my dad, but I'm a loser kid, eh, Ron? Go fuck your horse, you bundle of sticks. Man, brutal. The show announcement, it says 11:05. Oh, yes, I was late and gay. But I was honest. That it wasn't going to start at 11. I don't know if it started at 11:05. All right, guys. Let's hit this outro. Hit the outro. There you go. EVS greater than Doug. Doug will backstab you, Dad. You know, like I said, I don't get into people's beefs, right? If EVS and Doug have beef, that's on them. I wish they didn't. I really do. I know some of you guys don't like Doug. I know some people don't like EVS, and that's up to you guys. I don't require anybody to like anybody on my show. Neither EVS nor Doug has treated me poorly. I'm not gonna pick a side in that dispute. I don't think either of them want me to pick a side in that dispute. Neither of them have asked me to do so. I don't think they would. I want the fighting in comics to stop because I want the comics counterculture to defeat the comics culture or to severely cripple it. That's what I want. And my opinion is the best way for that to happen is for the fighting to stop. Other people can have different opinions. That's okay. It's okay. But I'm not a guy who shies away from my opinions or voicing them. So anyway, that's that. Like I said, Ethan's always been good to me. Doug's always been good to me. If that ever changes, then it'll change and I'll deal with it then. But you guys don't have to, Like, you guys don't have to. You take that for what it's worth to you. Anyway, Mark Kern on for War 3 would be great. He's been tearing up Warcraft 3. I would love Mark Kern on to talk more about Ember and stuff and other things. We'll see. I like talking to Mark, man. He's a good dude. So, all right, guys. Well, I'm gonna blank out the screen. You can finish the theme song, and then I will be over on Twitch shortly for kind of a short Twitch session because I need some sleep. By short, I mean remember that they're normally like 4 hours long. So, but we'll see you over there. Hope you guys have a good night. No, not Mark Wade, Mark Kern. Hope you guys have a good night. Peace. Peace.
Out a glass for the team, post on Twitter as we hear Lost Planning tonight. From the white
Cold outside right now, though. I see you. I want to listen to my theme song while playing golf.
So pour out a glass for the ones who have passed to make the law what we have now. From the white shores of the hills to the hills of
Mama Bear, I like being a weirdo.